Hey, I'm Josh from Vacuums R Us in Colorado, and today we're going to be fixing the Recline spring on a Sebo X4. This applies to all Sebo X4s. It also applies to Windsor sensors and Karcher machines, commercial machines that have a similar form factor. So the symptom on this machine is it just flops back way too easy. We're going to pop off the top first. There's a button here, same thing on Karcher and Windsor machines. We'll pop that off and set it aside. I will be linking to all the parts I use in this video below, as well as the schematics, the part breakdown for the entire machine, so you can find any parts you're looking for. So we know this issue is here because that thing just flops backwards. This is supposed to be spring-loaded and it's supposed to stay up on its own, but it just flops backwards. So we're going to open up the hood. We're going to replace this spring. Not a terrible repair. It's not awful to do, but first this disclaimer. All right, before we start this repair, disclaimer time. This video is for informational purposes only. These repairs should only be done by factory authorized technicians in vacuum stores. If something goes wrong here, I am not responsible for any issues that might arise. If the vacuum becomes sentient and eats your cat, not our problem. Seriously though, watch the entire video. A lot of these repairs are very difficult. Make sure you're confident in performing this repair before you start, because the last thing in the world you want to do is take this machine apart and then bring it into a repair shop because you couldn't complete the repair. Many repair shops, like ours, will not accept machines once they've been messed around with. So make sure you can do this before you start, because you're in it to win it. Okay, so first thing we're going to need is we need to pop the white hood off to get access to the inside. There are only 4 screws needed to take out to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Note that these are the screws that are inset. There's some external screws you can see up here on top. These are holding on the base plate and they do not need to be removed. All right, the lid will come off now. And we have access to the inside of the machine. So this is the issue right here. There's a little spring right there, and that little spring is broken. Super common. So this belt guard, wow, that belt is really loose. Holy cow. This belt guard will lift right up, and that will give us access to that springy thingy. This will pop right out, and then we can see the spring right in there. I'm going to grab the correct spring for this. It will be linked below, and we'll get that spring installed. All right, so I have the spring. So this is her old spring, and you'll see there's a hook there, and we're missing something. This is the new spring. You'll see that this piece right here is what we're missing from the old spring. That's what breaks off. So the small hook is going to go inside that little hole right there. And then this large hook is going to actually, there's a spot right there that the large hook is going to go inside of. So we're going to get that axle, as it were, back inside of that hole right there. And now our spring, our large hook back here, is going to come through, and you'll see it hooks around the edge. And now that will pop back up. And we're going to take the belt guard, and that just slips right on. There's a groove right here where one of the this groove goes through that where one of the screw mounts are. There we go. And now there's a little plastic nub on this belt guard that pushes this foot pedal out so it doesn't fall out. And that's all that holds it in. There's no screws or anything. So we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on, straight down, no forcing. It's an older machine, so we've got some spring, but it's not fantastic. It's pretty obvious by the overall look of the machine that it's anything but new. But that is certainly an improvement anyways. 4 screws back in. All right, so our lid's back on. Now, all we have to do is put the housing back on. This will wiggle on, and you'll hear a clip when this button engages, and the machine is good to go.